3 with Greg and Trace. Say hi.
Hello, how are you folks doing tonight?
What's up, what's up, what's up? We're actually gonna try to do a whole video this time talking about what? What are we gonna talk about? You know what I wanna talk about?
What?
Thursday night.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So
That was
Thursday
dope.
night, we went to a psychic sharing group. And the psychic that we went to go see has been doing these sharing groups since like 1985 or something, before, I think when I was like 5 years old. And it was quite interesting, really. There was people that have been coming with her for like, what, 15 years?
Yeah, more than that, 20. 20
20
years.
years?
Yeah.
Okay. So like once a month for the last 20 years, they've been coming to see her and like get their questions answered. And like we asked them a couple of questions.
Yeah.
I asked them, her, what date we should get married. And she used numerology, which I thought was interesting. Because when I was listening to her, you know, I obviously got some like downloads as well, but she used numerology and she was talking about the year, right? So the year, this year, in numerology terms, is the year 2020. 2 plus 2 equals 4. So it's a year of 4, right?
Yes.
It's a masculine year, a year of vision and clarity.
Not that masculine, I'm just messing around.
Not that masculine. It's a year of vision. It's a year of clarity. It's a year to take the masculine energy. And what that means is masculine is like the concrete, right? The more solid form. So feminine energy is more flowy and delicate and graceful and intuitive and you know, those types of things that women have natural in our essence, but men have the more grounded, stable opportunities to build, right? Because they use their strength. So masculine this year.
That's a year. It's a year of building, right?
Yeah, it's a year of building. So if you're looking for a new career or a new job or a new relationship, or you want to build a new house or something, forming some sort of solid foundation, this is the year to create all that, was what she is saying. So I think it was a really good meeting, watching some of the women.
It was pretty funny, man. It was all older women. And
No, it wasn't all older women.
They were all older.
No, there was like three or four younger women.
Were they? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought they were all older. My bad.
Yeah, because you were laughing at the older women. That's why I thought.
It was pretty exciting to be in a room full of women and listen to what they talk about and things like that. But it was pretty funny, man. Those older women, you know, it's good to be around that and see. To me, it's like I like to see other people's, you know, vision on life or the way they view life and how they see things. And it's pretty interesting, man, to sit in a room full of women and just listen to them and, you know, hear them joke and laugh and things like that. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. It was
I
very
liked it.
different, something that I don't think I've ever really been exposed to in that capacity. But it was good opportunity to kind of look at the different ways that the world and other people view things, I think. And, you know, outside of being a psychic or using your intuitive skills, I think we all have those abilities. To listen to ourselves, to get
intuition.
downloads. It's called intuition. And when we learn to create that space and listen to those downloads, I think it's beautiful.
But we don't. It's funny because, you know, in life we go away from our intuition, and our intuition is really telling us the truth. You know, we've had that thing in our head that said don't do this or don't do that, or that person's not good for you. But we, despite that intuition or what that's telling us, we still go ahead and do it, and then we wonder why it didn't work.
Yeah.
Because what was inside you was telling you don't do it from the beginning.
Right.
So we have to, as people, start learning how to trust yourself. I heard that today from somebody, or maybe from you.
It was me.
Trust yourself. You know what I mean? That's what you need to do. You need to trust yourself and believe in yourself, because everything you need it's inside of you.
Yeah.
And you know, we have a tendency to go outside of us looking for things that are going to give us clarity.
Well, I also think it's a lot about paying attention, right? So life is not that difficult if we slow down and pay attention. And I think what is happening
I feel like you're too close to me. I'm just joking. I'm joking.
You
Go
can
ahead.
move over, sir.
Go ahead.
Taking up all my space anyways. I have a big auric field.
So, care about your work field.
You do care. So, anyways, what I think is happening is that we have all this technology and the advancement of technology, and in between the creation of the planet and now, right, there's been so many traditions that have kind of gone away, which is something that was brought up for me when she was talking to the one young lady about, throwing salt or doing sage. And, a lot of people may think that's weird, but there was a time in my life where that was super important to me. It kept me stable, it kept me focused, it kept my energy grounded, and I would do it ritually all the
That's
time.
because you grew around black people. Black people were real superstitious. Black
Whatever.
people don't play.
The thing is that we forget the old ways that keep, and even if you don't believe in those things, even if you say, okay, that's weird or whatever you want to think about them, the thing is it's where what your mind is wrapped around, what you really believe in. It always goes back to what your belief is. If you believe that throwing salt on the ground is going to create a better energy in your home and help your family, then throw salt on the ground. Because I did it, and I think it really did wonders for me. And the things, all types of things and rituals that I had, like I don't do them anymore, which is really kind of listening to that helped me. Like I don't really do a lot of those anymore, but I have other rituals now. Now I do meditation. Now I do mantras. Now I do there's all types of other things that I have elevated to in that experience. So at the end of the day, I think it was a great night. I think it was good to watch everybody's views. And I think that, when you look at what spirituality versus humanity is, that it's all inside of us. We all need something to believe in. And so it doesn't really matter what it is. If you believe in it and you can really let go. One thing that came to me today, we were spring cleaning the house because it's almost Chinese New Year, which is something I have celebrated for, since 2007. But one thing that came to me today is that we don't have to be grateful for the terrible things that happen to us in life. We do have to be grateful, and we should very much be grateful for the opportunity to pay attention to the lessons that are being taught so that we don't have to learn those lessons continuously. Like life has the capacity to bring us back in full circle when we are not paying attention. And that's really what it is. Believing in something bigger than you and paying attention to all the lessons that are wrapped around you. And it's not spirituality, it's called growing up.
I believe life gives us lessons every day. Yes, definitely growing up, but life gives us lessons every day, but it's up to us to learn from those lessons, Yeah. There's not a day that goes by that you shouldn't learn something or take something away from that day, because every day's a new day and every day's a new journey. And, we have to learn to accept those things and to know that those things are pushing us towards where we need to go in life and where you want to go. Every decision pushes you either closer to where you want to go in life or it pushes you further back. So we have to be careful with those decisions on what we make, because they'll push us either way.
Slow down and pay attention.
Yeah.
And release the fear, right? So fear is a huge thing. And I think even that night there was
Hold on. What did my card say?
Oh, what did your card say?
My card said, keep the faith and drop the fear.
Keep the faith and drop the fear. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's fear, right? So the other thing that, when I was thinking about that today when we were cleaning the house, I was like, it's so crazy because things happen in our life and they create a boundary of fear. And that's what stops us from elevating, right?
The wall of fear.
So I remember when I was like 24 and I was like super go-getter and I was making a lot of money and I, was buying a house and a new car and all these fast forward things. And then I got myself into, not the greatest relationship on the planet. And I'm sure we all know what that means. And then I lost
a good relationship. What are you talking about?
And then I lost it. Everything that I worked hard for, but the energy and vibration in me back then was just so phenomenal because I wanted something. I didn't fear anything. I believed in more. I knew that I could have it, and so it was easy for me to get it. And then life happened, and I got a little dwindled, and I thought, I have to work hard. Now I have to work hard.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe fear is part of the ingredients to success? What I'm trying to say is if you use it right.
Right. I was just that was actually my answer. If you use
part of the ingredients to your success.
Everything is
fuel.
your ingredient, right?
Yes.
So everything, because if you don't know what you don't want, you don't know what you do want. So everything is part of the ingredients to being successful and having what you want in life. And I think through this journey, things moved really fast for me when I was younger. Like I had kind of a tough growing up, and then, I decided to fight my way through that and then have a really awesome, mid-20s life where I was like, I'm gonna have everything I didn't have, and I'm gonna fight for it, and I'm gonna have it, and like it's a little exhausting. So now I've learned, like, release the resistance and let go of the fear, and then the rest of it falls away. Somebody asked me the other day, she was like, how did you lose all that weight? Like, I've tried this and I've tried that. And she was like, was it really just the weight, or was it all emotional? And I was like, it's all emotional. It's always all emotional. Our bodies,
all of our problems
we
are
put
emotional.
a protective layer as women, I think, especially a lot of men too, but I think as women especially, we put a protective layer over ourselves when we have something that we've suppressed subconsciously, and that accounts to and amounts to weight physically for us. And that's fear, that's depression, that's anxiety. I think that's, all those things come from not believing in who you really are and not knowing you're true connected to, like, source, right? The source. Like,
Well, people, when you say suppressing things, we all do it. We all suppress, we even suppress things we don't think we suppressed, and we don't even have to really find out what they are, but we have to do the work, and those things will be released from us. And believe me, once you release those things that were suppressing you, and those things that were holding you back from you grabbing them and keeping them as you went along life, you take a little from this person, you take a little from that person, your parents told you wasn't good enough, as much as you try to say that didn't hurt you, it hurt you, and you carry that with you. And you have to learn that you have to get rid of those things, and you have to find a way to get rid of those things, or it's hard to get to where you want to go in life with those things still in you, because those things are the reasons why you're not going and getting to where you want to get in life. So you have to find the way to find out how to release those things. And once you release those things, believe me, and you're not going to release them all at once. It takes time to release things. It's a journey. It's not the destination, it's the journey. And you have to take time to...
Sounds like yoga to me.
Sounds like yoga. Probably I got that. But it's definitely, it's a journey, not the destination. So you have to enjoy it, and you have to know that those things reside in all of us. There's not a person on this earth that don't have something suppressed within inside of them that is stopping them from becoming the person they want to be. And you have to just go, and you have to find a way to release those things. And once you release those things, believe me, it just starts to bloom, and it starts to come together like you wouldn't believe. Mm-hmm. And I'm a witness to it. And I will always know that I have to work on myself if I want to get to where I want to go in life. And what's crazy is, where do you really want to get in life? Because once you get to where you think you want to go, what happens? You want to go somewhere else.
Yeah. They're always going to be asking.
You're always going to be asking. This job, it's never over. You're never going to stop asking, and you're never going to stop wanting things until they put you in the ground. Yeah. Because that's just who we are as humans. We're here. We're trying to fulfill our desires and the things that we want. But to get to those things, we truly have to, like I said, you don't have to go back and find out exactly what happened to you. Because believe me, there's things that come up about me that I had no clue that were there, that come up once I do the work, and those blocks and those suppressed things start coming up. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that was there. I didn't even know I was dealing with that. I didn't even know that had effect on me, but it did have an effect on me. So put in the work and just watch your life bloom, and it'll go places you never imagined.
What I think is really, really key though, is that we do have to realize that the objective is not to completely eliminate stress and anxiety and issues in your life.
You can't.
Yeah, but they're believe it or not, they are things that actually we need to use as tools, right? So like when you're stressed out, like the other day you were like, don't be mad at that. And I was like, no, actually I do need to be mad at that, right? Because I need to be amped up.
You need to release that.
No, I needed that energy so that I was like, okay, this is actually a change that I want to make, right?
Okay.
That's why it's okay to be like, have those feelings, get amped up, find your strength and your power, right? But really understand that this just makes you better. Stress is what compels you to want to do something better, right? Remember when we had that one space over there and it was like things kept coming up and things kept coming up, and I was like, it's okay, because these are the things that are showing me that this is no longer where I need to be, right? I'm not gonna, of course I'm upset about them, but I'm gonna use that energy of being upset about it to make a change, to do something better with my life, to make sure that I'm upgrading things. So sometimes you need to just pay attention to the stress. Like, we overload ourselves so much with stress, but when you've learned to create that space, know that the stress means that, okay, I've had too much of this. I need a change. Something needs to give. It's time to grow. It's just like when you're growing a seed in the ground, like the ground has to break, right? It has to be unsettled. Things have to move and shake. And that's just like stress and anxiety are really just a sign for, like, we don't want stress and anxiety to go away. We want to just learn how to use it to our best ability so that we know how to look at things and say, okay, this is stressing me out, so this needs to change. And it doesn't have to be a bad, oh, I love this so much, but it doesn't have to be a bad relationship. This is what I love so much, because people really, really, truly believe that, like, if I don't like something about this person anymore, and it's not a good fit anymore, like in business or friendship or relationships, we look and we're like, oh, I feel so bad. I feel so guilty. I don't want to tell them that this is making me uncomfortable. But that's the worst thing that you can do, because either they're going to stay around or they're not, A. And B, if something is not working, something has to change. And sometimes it just means changing you being around those people, or you being with that person. And you, in order for you to grow, you can't if you're holding on to those things. And that's where also in relationships, I think, in business and all types of things. I remember, not too long ago, I had a business relationship, and I several times said, we need to cut ties. We need to figure out how to cut ties and cut ties and cut ties. And the other person did not want to let go. And when it got to a point where I just had enough, I was like, listen, this does not have to be like a bad breakup. Yeah. This can really be a really good ending, is if you let go, right? Otherwise, I'm going to cut ties and you're going to not like me anymore, right? And what happened? They don't like me anymore because I had to cut ties, right? But I was very honest up front. I'm a human. I'm an adult. I make sure that I'm always like, listen, this is not making me feel good anymore. This is not working. Either we work something else out or we cut this. And that's called being an adult and growing up and managing your life.
What we talking about the other day, I was saying that all we got to do is, wouldn't you rather somebody tell you they didn't like you, or tell you, just be straightforward with me. You don't have to sugarcoat nothing. Sometimes not sugarcoating it makes it right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Now we're back, because Gregory likes to push buttons again.
But what I was saying was, she'll edit it, don't worry. What I was saying was, you have to be straightforward with people. We have to learn to say, hey, this is how I feel. And once you tell a person that, it's up to them now what they want to do with that. You know what I mean? So if you don't like somebody, say, hey man, I'm really not feeling you. But don't be around them and be fake with them. That's.
Don't be fake with them.
Don't be fake with them.
That is huge. I think it's so huge. And I'm not going to say I'm not,
We've all been there.
Actually, I'm going to say this a different way. Because there have been some spaces where I felt like the other person wasn't able to handle what I was going to dish out to them. And so I redirected the energy into a space that made it feel better to me. So I was very honest about the situation, but I was just like, hey, I'm going to redirect this, right? Because again, it's called being an adult. It's just like you would do with a child. If the child is not going to understand you biting them off, right? Or yelling at them or telling them, they don't understand that language, right? So sometimes even in adult relationships, you just kind of have to redirect the energy. Like, I'm not going to hang out with this no more. Matter of fact, I decided I don't want to do lunches on Sunday anymore, or whatever it is that, whatever it is. I just made that up, but
you over there making up words.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you have to be really honest and open. Like, this just is not working anymore, and that's okay, because there may be a time that it works again, right? As this person grows into a different space. It's all ebb and flow of energy and creation, and we all decide that we want to be where we want to be. If we can all decide that we want to be where we want to be, we can be beautiful co-creators, right? We can have the greatest things ever in life. It's when you just put those blocks of energy up where you're like, I'm not talking to that person anymore. Okay, grow up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just being an adult.
Yeah. Instead of being straightforward with them.
Yeah. Just a real thing to me.
Yes, it is.
All right.
We can go
On to this forever.
Yeah. You done?
Yeah, I'm done with that.
Right.
You talking about something else?
No, I was gonna say, yeah, we can talk about something else. What I was gonna say,
No,
we
it's
over
just-
here, confused and shit.
I'm not confused.
I was gonna say what I took away from Thursday from that sharing group was there's only two things we control in life. You remember this? What she said? We control two things in life.
No, because I
We
already
control-
knew that,
Well,
so I didn't write it down. Did you write it down?
it don't matter about writing it down. I'm just asking if you remember it.
No, I don't. Go
Okay.
ahead.
What she said was that there's only two things you control in life. You control the choices you make and how you react to things. Those are the only two things you control in life. And that may seem like, everybody should know that, but everybody don't know that. And that is true. The way you react to things
Yeah.
and the choices you make. Because like I said, the choices you make either are pushing you forward towards what you want or they're holding you back from what you want. So, be careful with your choices. Make your choices. You have the right to make any choice you want in life. I don't care what people think about you, what people say about you. That's your life. You have the right to make the choice you want to make that moves you towards what you want to do. Because all your choices aren't going to be okay with everyone, but you have to be okay with that. So you got to be careful with what you choose because it's either moving you forward or pulling you back. And the way you react to things and people, that's big because we allow things and people to control us. And I don't care how much work you do, you still at some point you catch yourself falling back into that. But that's why you do the work, so you don't stay in that
What's the
for
word?
so long. The work is working on your mind, your life, your meditations, your readings, your just things that give you the knowledge that you need to guide you through this life. That's the work, the knowledge, books.
I think the work is being aware.
Yeah, definitely. That's the work is being
I
aware.
think that's the work. I think it's accepting. I think it's definitely watching, right? And
Yeah.
then acting and repeat, right? I
Yeah.
think it's accepting, watching, acting.
Do the work.
Do
Put
the
the
work.
work in.
Yeah. And then expect the best, right? And I was watching someone, they're like, oh, that whole self-positive world or whatever it is. But you know what? Here's the thing. Fake it till you make it. Fight through it. Seriously, there is a better life. And I've been doing this for a while now, but I've been watching like so much change. I started doing the baby steps, the affirmations on the mirror, the vision board things. Those are all baby steps. Those are beginner steps of changing your life. Being really positive and really just, I'm going to go hang out with a bunch of people and do vision boards. I'm going to go hang out with a bunch of people and meditate. I'm going to go out, I'm going to go write, notes to myself on the mirror. All of those are baby steps. That's what we do in the beginning when we're really trying to fight through. And then once you've gotten yourself where you're like, okay, those things worked, next level. Next level is what? Meditation, creating self-care steps, creating objectives for your life and goals and really working towards them and dropping off anything that attaches to you that is not going to push you forward. Those are the steps. That is the work.
Just what I wrote down.
Things.
Okay, letting go of people, places, and things that do not fit your life anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
You
you
know.
gotta let go. You gotta move forward. You gotta move on. It doesn't matter. People are gonna get their feelings hurt. But one thing my aunt told me one time when I was I think I was like 7th grade, and I cared about a teen cares about everybody else, And she was like, Tracy, you're not even gonna know these people in 10 years.
Yeah.
Why do you care? And reality is, you may not even know these people in 10 years. So why do
do
you
you care what they think about you? Yeah,
Yeah, seriously.
we do though. People, as much as we want, try not to, man. People sometimes
I
have a big
say
influence
give
on
them love and light and move on and be the best that you can be. Be who you are, who you already were.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal when you wake up and realize, oh, if I let go of all that crap that isn't me, hello,
Yeah.
here I am.
But then again, what do we say? People, you can't change your life overnight. Changing your life overnight, that quick fix don't work. It
No.
takes time. It takes
You're not going to
the
go to a
work, it takes the
retreat and come
practice.
back a new person.
No.
It may kickstart
Yeah.
your work. It may help you on the path to your work, but it's still every single
every day.
You're not going to get a
grow.
coach. Trust me, I'm a life coach. I coach people all the time, and I see people who really come to me and do the work, and I see people who come and do the work while they're working with me. Complete difference in their lives. Phenomenal difference in their life. I love watching people who actually come to me. They do the work with me, and then they go on and continue the work, and watching them just blossom, right? And then the ones that come to me and they just at the beginning stages, and nothing's wrong with either way, right? Nothing's wrong. It's just, are you at the beginning stages? Are you really ready? Some people just want to be ready. Like, it's just like doing a diet. I wanted to be ready a million times, and I tried and I tried and I tried, but until I was really ready, then the work didn't work.
You know what I used to do when you know, as we grow, you know, you get to a point where things begin to get hard, and at that point, that to me is a very critical point, because that point is a point where you either you move forward through the fire or you go back.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be that. As long as you grow, there'll be points where it's going to say, hey, you want to go forward or you want to go back. But to go forward, you're going to have to go through this fire. And going through the fire sucks.
Yeah.
You know, let's be honest, it sucks. Because
but it's so amazing on the other side.
It's amazing on the side.
And you know, whenever I hear that, go through the fire, I think of walking on coals. Like, you see those people walking on coals?
I ain't about to walk on no damn coals.
I might. But you see those people
she
walking on
probably will
coals?
Too. She gonna call me one day and be like, babe, I'm walking on coals. You wanna do it? And I'm be stupid. I'll be like, yeah, I'll go.
That's why I love you.
We gonna be out here walking on coals and shit.
Because he won't do it until I do it. And be like, okay, you
go try it first. If you like it.
You go do it.
Yeah.
I'm like the guinea pig. But I've been like that my whole life. Don't blame him. I'm always ready to jump in.
This woman would try anything, man.
I know how to play the flute now.
Yeah, believe me, this woman. There's nothing that like surprises me anymore about her. I'll be like, yeah, okay. You could tell me something, I'll be like, yeah, she probably did do that.
Yeah, probably did.
She probably did do it.
You can tell me this guy didn't do it. I'll be like, he probably didn't do that.
But that's good, man. That's
we balance each other out that way.
That is definitely that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Because that's the only way you learn.
Yeah.
Is by doing things that you wouldn't normally do, doing things that you don't find success in the box. The box is there's a bunch of people in the box. Everything you want is outside that box.
Man. And
you have to get outside of it. But you know, I still have trouble sometimes getting outside the box. But this lady helps me. She helps me get inside the box, and you know, sometimes I gotta.
She's got to pull me back in the box.
Like,
sometimes.
hey, hold on, slow up, hold on, let's think about this. No, let's just do it. I'm like, hell no, just do it.
We do very much balance each other out that way, because I am the let's go do it, dreamer, flying. What did someone say when we first met? She was like, you guys are perfect for each other, because she's like the kite and you get to hold the string.
Yeah, I got this string. Like, bring your ass back. No, it's another wind coming.
Yeah, let's fly. Yeah. No, we do very much do that. We ground each other, but we also help each other fly. That's a beautiful phenomenon we have.
Sometimes I have trouble getting off the ground, but you know, it's all good.
I just push them.
I'm learning. I'm getting there. I'm opening up.
Yeah, you're doing great. So I think this was a great talk.
I do too.
What do you think the talk was about? Really just clarity and 2020,
vision, you know, finding that vision and building on that foundation that you build this year. You know, you got to get that foundation, set the foundation up, let the foundation, you know, be solid. And then once you have a solid foundation, build what the fuck you want on that foundation. And don't give a shit about what nobody think about you. Because let me tell you something. My daddy told me to talk about you when you're doing good and to talk about you when you're doing bad. Let them talk about you when you're doing good.
That's right. I love that, sir. What a great way to end. High five to you. All right. So if you like this video, please make sure you subscribe and share with your friends.
I'm Greg.
I'm Trace, and we love you so much. Ta-ta.
Deuces.